Happy Friday. I'm going to read out of the book of Galatians today, Galatians chapter 2. And just to give you a little bit of background, I'm going to read what Paul is speaking to Peter. So both Paul and Peter were born as Jews, and they grew up following the Jewish law. Okay, but now they understand they no longer are required to follow the Jewish law. The only thing that is required to be made right with God is belief, to believe in His Son, Jesus. So, right before this, Peter and Paul and some of the other believers are gathering and they're having a meal, and Peter was sitting with the Gentiles. Remember, the Gentiles are non-Jews. Until James came in. And when James came in, Peter moved to be with the other Jews. And that kind of led to other people doing the same thing, causing a bit of division. So Paul asks Peter right before what I read is, why, if you and I are both born as Jews and we have discarded the Jewish law, why are you trying to make these Gentiles follow the laws that we know don't work? So Paul continues here. So I'm starting in verse 15. It says, you and I are Jews by birth, not sinners like the Gentiles. We know that a person is made right with God by faith in Jesus Christ, not by obeying the law. And we have believed in Christ Jesus so that we might be made right with God because of our faith in Christ, not because we have obeyed the law. For no one will ever be made right with God by obeying the law. But suppose we seek to be made right with God through faith in Christ, and then we're found guilty because we've abandoned the law. Would that mean Christ has led us into sin? Absolutely not. Rather, I am a sinner if I rebuild the old system of law I already tore down. For when I tried to keep the law, it condemned me. So I died to the law. I stopped trying to meet all its requirements so that I might live for God. My old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. So I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not treat the grace of God as meaningless, for if keeping the law could make us right with God, then there was no need for Christ to die. It's a pretty powerful statement, I would say, at the end. I mean, think about that. Why would God have sent his Son to go through what he did for us? For no reason. He changed everything. He changed everything for us. So, let's see. For no one will ever be made right with God by obeying the law, but suppose we seek to be made right with God through faith in Christ. Seek. Keep seeking. Keep seeking. He'll give you the answers if you keep seeking. He promises that. How do you live in this earthly body? I liked this. I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. The grace of God is not he does not treat it as meaningless. I mean, yeah, he's aware, I'm aware, Peter's aware. I mean, believers are aware that they're not perfect. God knows we're not perfect. That's why he gives us abundant grace. And you've got to keep your focus on him instead of what you're wanting to change. Because that's self. If you keep your focus on Him, you are trusting Him, you are surrendering and allowing Him to do the work in you to change whatever it is you're wanting to change. So, alrighty. I think that's it for today. You guys enjoy the rest of your day on to the weekend. God bless.